you used to have, where it be even activities, even good things that you think was good at the time. You know, He slowly changes that so that He could allow new blessings to come forth in our lives. And all we need to do is just be open to it. So, with that, even St. Paul said this, when we actually embrace the Lord's goodness, it's no longer us who lives here, but actually Jesus. It's already Christ who lives in us. And that's a challenge for most of us, right? I mean, it's so hard to be like Jesus Christ. But then we are called Christians because without Christ, we are nothing. So, we get to be truly the daughter of our Lord, or the daughter or the sons of God, right? But with this we could call God our Father. It's like an adoption, right? In a way. Like, it's just not Jesus who's His son. It's you, Christian. It's you, Ian. It's you, Lavly. Right? And our call is actually a call for holiness, and that's what I call about the pruning part, right? We no longer could live with sin. It's no longer tolerable to always, you have certain things that you should change. And when you know Christ, it's like, okay, well, I guess I have to give that up, right? Because our call is holiness. So, there are certain practical implications of this relationship too. And one is, if God is truly your Father, then we have to trust Him. This is one of my favorite verses. For I know well the plans that I have for you, says the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope. So if you believe that the Lord's plan is amazing, then you will just trust Him, no matter what circumstance you're in. No matter what He placed in your life, no matter what challenges you may be placed in. If you know that you have a God who truly loves you this way, well, just trust Him, right? I don't know about your relationship with your fathers, with your earthly father, but mine, I am so blessed to have a really great one. And I could really attest that no matter what, like whatever my dad says, like I believe him, I trust him that much. Because for the last years of my life, it's been amazing because of his wisdom. And that's the same relationship that I have with my Lord, you know? Another implication is that God is our provider. He's the Jehovah Jireh, the Lord, my provider. And what I was saying earlier, like you just really need to be open to His blessings because you'll never know, You'll never know what you're gonna get. It's a whole buffet of blessings. Every day, He gives you a new grace each day. And so if God is our Father, what does that make each of us? Children of God. And then I get to be your sister, Christian, and I get to be your sister, Ian, and your sister, Lovely. We get to be brothers and sisters through Christ. And we are so blessed to actually, be surrounded by other brothers and sisters in the community. Be a part of this ministry, hopefully, in a few more talks, a few more weeks, right? Who would strive together with you. Strive together with you, not just pure joy, we also are here for your sorrow or whatever struggles that you may have. To share that struggle, to be one with Christ, to be true Christians, to act like Jesus would. Because it's no longer us who lives, but Jesus inside of us. You get to be with your brother and your sister who would challenge you, hey, that's not right. You get to be with your sister who would acknowledge you for, hey, I see Jesus in you. And that's awesome. I think, if anything, we truly need that support system because it's such a big challenge to have. And so another thing that we should realize is that life here on earth is actually temporary. Our citizenship is in heaven. So if our citizenship is actually in heaven, then where should you invest your life in? Up there, right? We have to live our lives with heaven in mind. We have to press towards the goal to win the prize for which God has called us to have, which is heaven. And that's where you need your brothers and sisters' support. Because alone, it's so easy to be tempted to do otherwise. So if you believe those 4 things that I have said, what are the practical implications again? First, we need to trust God, right? Second, God's our provider. Third, we're brothers and sisters through Christ. Fourth, our citizenship is in heaven. So if we believe all of those, how should our attitude should be?
Positive.
Positive. Aside from that?
Trusting.
Trusting.
Confident.
Confident. Awesome. But also peaceful. We should always be at peace. Because we have a God who would provide for us. We have a God who has planned great things for us. We have a God who's provided us with people who could help us out to live like Christ did. So earlier I told you about the basic concepts that I learned, being raised Catholic and going through school. And I actually realized that it's about a misconception. You know, it's not enough. It's not just purely a religious system, because it's not about praying Our Father or praying the Rosary even. But if you don't live it, then it's useless, right? Another is that it's not just about doing the do's and the don'ts. I've realized that if you truly love this God who loves you so much, you can't help but try to do things that would please Him too. Not about avoiding things because you're so scared, but because you get to do things because you love Him so much that you know it will be pleasing for Him. It's not about trying to be Miss Goody-Goody anymore, because you realize Jesus even got mad at one story in the Bible, right? I don't know if you know that story where he went to the church and then people are like selling things and he got mad because he made his father's house like a marketplace or something. So it's not about that. It's not about merely just avoiding going to hell or going to heaven, you know? But it's more about really trying to do things to please the Lord because you love Him that much. And it's not about escaping reality either, because we're not actually encouraged to escape reality but face them one by one. So reflect in yourselves. Can you call yourself a Christian? It's all about knowing God personally, having that close relationship with Him. And it's not about just pure religion. Religion can bring you to church. That's one thing I realized. Like for the last early years of my life, I was going to church because my parents told me to. It became a have to, in a way. It's like a routine. I have to go here every Sunday. What I came to realize is that it's not about that. It's about that relationship that I have with God. And if you love someone, you get to visit them consistently, right? You have to build that relationship with them. You get to talk to them. I find myself like really talking to God a lot. Driving to work, you know, even going up here, I'm like, Lord, be with me, you know, hold my hand. So, a relationship with God is the most important relationship that you can have. And one of the challenges is really to trust Him. Because when you know that He's got you at the palm of His hand, when you know that He has this great, amazing plan for you, when you know that no matter circumstance you're in, you can have His peace. And with that, may God be praised.